Everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is the Coco Nomad. I've been away for a bit and here with an update, keeping everybody posted on what's happening in terms of the travel plans that I have this year. I am currently back in Atlanta. I'm back home for a short spell just to visit for the holidays, and it's been great, but it's about time for me to move on in a couple of days. I'm going to get back on the road, and as many of you know, like if you've been traveling, you know that there's like the current situation with COVID and regulations and rules have kind of changed our ability to go different places and when and where we can go. So I've been trying to maneuver with that. My plans for 2020 were like anybody else's. They were just ruined. I had these big plans for doing a Nomad cruise across the Atlantic and then doing the Nomad train from Russia to Mongolia, and that sort of is gone now. I mean, it's just not something that I'm going to be able to do anytime soon. So I've had to adjust. So after this brief visit here home to see family and friends, I am headed back to Mexico. So I was in Mexico this time last year and spent a lot of time in Playa del Carmen. So I'm returning to Playa del Carmen. Had a great experience there. Really like the community there. I'm able to work. The weather's warm. After a week and a half of this cooler weather here in Georgia, I'm not even in the northern part of the U.S. I've had enough. I realize that I'm just not made for this anymore. If I'm not snowboarding, I want no parts of colder weather at all. So I'm headed back to a warmer climate and spend some time meeting up with some friends and sort of reconnecting with the community there. So I'm gonna spend probably about a month, I guess, in Playa del Carmen and just getting resettled, reacquainted. And then I am gonna take some time and check out Merida, which is just north, heading north from Playa del Carmen. I've heard a lot of great things about it. There seems to be a growing community of people there, and it's quieter, it's a little slower paced, and so I'm hoping, just want to see like a difference, if this is a place that can work for me, if it's a place that I'd like to be. I figure it's a great time to sort of sample it and just check it out. So I think I'm going to spend about a month there just to get a feel for what the life is like there, what the community is like there. I also get a chance to visit Chichen Itza while I'm there as well. So that's like puts me closer. And if I like it, I may stay longer, or at the very least, I'll put it on the short list of places to return. I'm a big believer of traveling to places, building a list of favorites, and then places that you want to revisit while not overstaying your welcome is super important to me. Like, I never want to stay anywhere too long, because then I'll sort of lose the desire to return. And I'll strike it from the list. One of the reasons why I really did need to leave Medellin is, as much as I like it, this past year is kind of an aberration for my time there, because I spent most of it in quarantine, on lockdown, because we just weren't able to go anywhere for months. And although it's opening up again, it just really felt different. It just felt, I felt that this wasn't the same city that I had come to multiple times, and I know that's like that for everybody who's living there. It's like just a huge adjustment. But I left. I'll be back at some point and come back to revisit the city again, maybe sooner than later. Not really sure. But for the time being, I am absolutely going to check out Merida, and then going back to a city that I really love. It's like one of my favorite places in the world, and I've been away for a long time, and that's Mexico City. It's been too long, honestly, since I've been there. So I think to sort of get away from the States, although I've been away for 5 years, and I don't really live here anymore. I'm going to spend some time waiting out the winter and waiting to see how the COVID situation changes in the U.S. as well, because even though I've been here for a few weeks and I've gotten to spend a good amount of time with friends and family, I didn't get to see everyone. I didn't get to visit all of my family. I was pretty much restricted to family in Georgia, family and friends in Georgia. I didn't hit the Carolinas, which I typically do. And so I'm going to come back and do a second trip at some point in 2021. Just trying to assess the situation and see what's going to work. So I'll be back here in the spring. I'm also working on a project here, and I'll talk about that more in like what I'm working on video, because I want to touch on not just the travel aspects, but the work aspects as well. And I have a client here. I'm working with a friend on a project here, so it gives me an opportunity to kind of come back when that project we should be pretty close to shipping at that point when I come back, or just after we've done the launch. And it'll be good to either assess that, wrap it up, or just a good time to sort of touch base again and see everybody as we decide what the next phase of that is going to be. But I need warm weather. Like I need to come back when it's the springtime. When it's here, it's spring. Too, I get to play golf, which I didn't do. Actually, I did play. I got to play 9 holes, and it was a lot of fun. I had the nice warm day the first week I was here, and that was great. First time I touched a club and swung a club in 3 years, and I felt pretty good about like how well I played, considering that it's been a long time. But I'm going to rectify that. I will be practicing and playing in Mexico. So it's one of my favorite activities. I've just been away from it for a while. But for planning the travel, I think the biggest thing is just trying to assess the global situation, where I can go. One of my options that I'd like to explore is there is a school that I took cooking classes at in Koh Phangan, Thailand. I'd like to go back and really do a deeper dive and spend more time in the kitchen, spend more time learning how to cook. And they have a package that's really, really affordable that includes both the cooking classes and language classes and a bonus of massage classes. So I really feel like, ooh, this would be a good time to spend like 6 months in one place with a purpose and really sort of learning some new things and getting better at one of the things that I do love, which is cooking, which was one of the highlights of this trip coming here. So it's my first time actually having a full kitchen and being able to cook for some friends. I made a paella, which I hadn't made in a long time. It was a lot of fun. And I do realize that like it just rekindled that love of cooking and being in the kitchen. And that's the thing about the travels. Like I want to make sure that I'm not just traveling for travel's sake. That's not what I do. And one of the requirements, of course, is that I have to be able to work. I have to be able to do the consulting or freelance work or my side projects, as it were. But I also want to make sure that I'm able to do the things that I really love doing. And that's whether that's getting out and playing golf or hiking, camping, exploring the world, eating food, and cooking food, which I would say is number one. Like those are my 2 favorite things to do. The eating more than the cooking even. But I just want to make sure that that's something that's always there. And then language. So that's the other thing. It's like I've been working in Spanish-speaking countries, and I speak it, but I think I'm ready to take another shot at a 3rd language, which I've done multiple times. I've had false starts with Arabic, Mandarin, Vietnamese, and Thai. And I really feel like, and Portuguese, but Portuguese is a little different just because it's closeness to Spanish and the fact that I've been doing capoeira forever. So I probably could just really just focus in on that and learn the Portuguese, but I really want to do something different. I want to do a different language, different script, really challenge my brain. So we'll see how that goes. The other option, language-wise, is Swahili. And so the other opportunity I'm looking at is going to East Africa, starting in Tanzania, and just enrolling in language school and just, again, settling in and immersing myself for about 6 months. I really feel like 6 months for me is that magic number of immersion where I'm somewhere where I'm hearing and speaking it every day. And it forces me to get past sort of like the basics. And I hadn't done that with any of the other languages that I've tried. I didn't get an opportunity to do that with Arabic or Mandarin or Vietnamese. I only spent a short amount of time there, even though my plan was to stay there for an entire year. It sort of got disrupted. So for me now, it's, okay, what do I want to learn? What do I want to do? And if I can combine language and food, then that's like a super, super bonus. Like I'm winning at life. So I'm in the kitchen, I'm using it, I'm using the vocabulary, I'm learning verbs, I'm hearing it, but then I'm also creating these dishes that are delicious, that can feed myself and other people, and I can share that as I continue to travel. So those are my travel plans right now. Tentatively for 2021 is basically ending the year in Mexico, coming back here in the spring, and then deciding where I'm going to spend those 6 months, whether it's going to be Thailand, whether it's going to be East Africa, starting in Tanzania. There is a 3rd option, but those are the top 2. I think I really need to just keep these choices like really, really slim and decide there. So let me know in the comments, like, comment, about your own travels. And if you love food, if you like cooking, if you just like eating, where are your favorite places to go? If you have any suggestions even on some places that I can learn specifically to cook, say in a Tanzania or Kenya, or even other places in Thailand, drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear them. I'm still in the investigative phase, so there's nothing etched in stone. But I'd like to get on the road and share some of those experiences with you here on the channel as well. So until next time, thank you for watching and listening, and take care. Until next time.